Welcome to Sip and Chat, the podcast. Hey, what's up? Sip and Chat, Season 3, Episode 3. So this evening we're discussing something that is close to love and, the heart. We're dealing with money in relationships. Is it match your money or matrimony? Love and money is, they are complex subjects in their own right, and when they mix them haphazardly, when you don't really have that proper discussion at the start of a relationship, things could kind of go downhill fast, right? So can a relationship survive without money, or you think so? If you both are financially stable, do you need to worry about the financial stability in the relationship? Is that an issue? Let's know. Fine, let's talk about it, fellas. Good evening. How y'all doing? Everybody good? All right, so Vaughn, talk to me now. Match your money or matrimony?
Boy, I think it needs to have a balance with both of them, boy. I think for me, I think I need to have both. You need to have some kind of financial backing to help the situation, because there's both are we in it. Both are we moving forward? We're moving forward as a team.
So it's more than just love then. So this thing about you're in love and you want to get married is more than just love then.
Yeah. In these times, it had to be more than just love. You can't make love on hungry belly,
You know, I have to cut
and people let's say love
I
has
would say you can't make love on hungry belly,
All right. So everybody feel that way. Everybody feel that way. Chef, you're a married man, so talk to me.
Well, boy, this is how I see it, right? It's all about meeting the basic needs, right? The food, clothes, and shelter. Basic human needs. So if you don't have the money to put food on the table, to put clothes, let me do this. Put food on the table, put a roof over both of your heads, and put clothes on her back, and weave on she head, and nail on she finger. Sorry. Food, clothes, and shelter, right? If you can't meet them needs, well, you ain't going nowhere, but you ain't going nowhere.
But Chef, I wanna ask you a question though. You mentioned there you're talking about putting a roof over all your head. So that's solely your responsibility as a man in the relationship?
No, not necessarily. I mean, once you're going into a marriage, or as we say, matrimony, two become one. So how I see it, you're pooling your resources, your financial resources, and everything else. Both of you seeking to, start a life together.
All right. So that's a conversation that you have beforehand then. So you're just jumping in this thing and then you decide, I want to get married to you, and then you realize, wait, but I kind of short on the mortgage money. I wonder if she could meet me halfway. All the thing that will cause problems?
We not also going to cause problems, because in my mind, I think that when you're going to get married, you and your partner need to be something called evenly yoked. And evenly yoked doesn't just necessarily mean you all have the same goals, aspirations, and whatnot. You understand? So something like that, if you're not like on the same page, or one person heavily depends on the other, which could happen in a relationship. I mean, it's something that's a give and take in my mind. But as Chef said, Chef was talking more about a traditional role though, about being able to put a roof over her head, provide food.
He said our head, eh? He said our head.
Yeah, well, things like that. But in my mind, I think it's like two becoming one though. It's like both of us together when I weather the storm, in my mind.
How does match your money versus matrimony apply to your relationship and your life in terms of how things have been, and how did you get to the point of discussing money and stuff in your marriage?
The conversation just came up. I mean, it was what we thought about initially. It just is talking now and again. It just happened to come up. And how we do things is that we do everything 50-50. All the bills we pull it together, and we know what we need to spend for the month. We would split it evenly. If it's an event where bills become higher than usually, like sometimes it varies month to month. If I have the extra, I would put it in. If she has the extra, she would put it in. So
Right.
it was a discussion that was normal for us. It didn't take any major effort.
So then in your case, it really wasn't match your money.
Nah, definitely not.
All right. Nice. Cool. So I mean, fellas, in the sense of being in a situation where, you know, like, okay, for now, right now, as we dealing with COVID, some of us are self-employed, some of us would have been laid off, unfortunately. How does that play into your relationship where money is concerned? What I'm saying is, you know, have you all experienced any difficulties in terms of relationship issues that would have popped up that probably wasn't an issue before? Because we're living in a different kind of time now, in terms of the stress and stuff like that. So, you know, how has that affected your relationships?
Well, I could jump in here, being one that would have been, how to put it, severed recently, right?
Right.
One of the petrol chain, right? So that was a couple of years now, and I must admit, and I think we spoke about it when we spoke about stay-at-home dads in that episode in season 1 or 2, was it?
Yeah.
And it's a serious thing. I mean, for a man personally to know that you feel like you're not holding up your end of the bargain, then, you know. So okay, bills coming in, monthly bills, internet bill, phone bill, this light bill. And you know, if you're not in a position to earn that income to help contribute towards paying the mortgage or whatever it is, you know, you're feeling a strain on yourself. Thankfully, I am with a partner who, you know, who is very supportive, understood the situation and stuck by me through it all, you know, handle the business until I was able to, you know, catch myself a little bit. I'm not saying I'm back to where I was, you know, far from it, but at least now I'm able to earn and contribute so that the family is a little more balanced now, and you know, a little less stressful than it was at the beginning.
All right. So I guess it's safe to say, Chef, in your case, that it's love and understanding is taking you through this period of time.
100%.
Right,
So
right.
in this case, it's matrimony.
It's matrimony, right. So I guess that blends in with what Kubel would have been saying in the sense of, you know, having being equally yoked and being on the same page. Because there may have been circumstances where people were not on the same page. They end up in the situation now, and then, you know, things kind of get sticky.
Yeah, and that would have happened too, because there were instances where both husband and wife were employed at the company. So they both lost their jobs. So that was a kind of sticky situation. Yeah, because I mean, people had to give back cars, they had to give back houses, they had to move back home with their parents or somewhere, because, you know, where the money coming from.
So how we feel about this, fellas? People who are not honest about their financial situation getting into a relationship. You know, you put on this show and you're living this glam life, but really and truly, you know, when you get down to it, it's really what it is. How do you feel about that?
Go ahead, Govel, go ahead.
Well, that's
So
what we call
something. Go ahead.
One comment.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it depends a lot on the foundation of your relationship. It depends on people get into relationships for lots of different reasons. Some for status, some for love, some for different various reasons. So, for example, if I know I get into a relationship because I want a sugar mommy, or in a woman's case, a sugar daddy, and you're looking for somebody to take care of you, that will be a motivating factor in getting into that relationship and wanting to get married. If I get married for love, money will be the furthest thing on my mind. As far as I'm concerned, I love you, I get married to you, and money will come after. But on sober thinking when you're going into marriage is something that you have to sit down and really talk about to understand where that person mindset is at, what their goals are, what your goals are, if it match, if you could see yourself moving together and stuff like that.
All right. I see Anthony has joined us. Good night, sir. So, Anthony, the discussion is match your money or matrimony. What's your take on the whole idea of, going into a relationship, having the discussion about finances?
You're right. Okay, ideally, you should have that. You should have that discussion even before you get into a relationship, so you understand where the person stands when it comes to spending, when it comes to finances, when it comes to saving. The other thing is that in terms of, well, as you were just asking, in terms of honesty, you really don't want to end up with somebody who actually behaves as if they have money, and then when you actually get down to months, days, or even after you get married, you realize, well, this person not really either financially responsible, or they just maybe have been putting up a very good enough front to get themselves through a proverbial law. And then you realize that you're stuck with them for the rest of your life. You're nowhere good financially, and you're practically in a
And that happened in many people cases, huh?
Yeah, that's a serious thing. And I'm telling you, in my experience, because most women I know and have dealt with, because them want a broke man at all.
None. From the beginning of time, nobody wants no broke man.
Nobody wants one.
At all.
So fellas, hear my question on that. I'll be a little instigator here and I'll ask. So really and truly in 2021, are you all looking for women that are financially stable?
I'm married, so I don't have that problem.
Some of we already have
Whether
women.
you're financially stable
Some
or
of
not.
us already have women. Or what kind of question is that?
I'm married, I don't have
I
that
want to know,
problem.
Keon, you
What
looking
Keon
for a
really
woman that's
doing, Mike?
financially stable? That's not. Keon, what are you looking for? You want a woman that's financially stable? You asking everybody question like you judge.
It contributes to the success of the relationship, really and truly. But I mean, it's not a be all and end all for me. It's not to say, well, she have to be making 10,000 a month, or she had to be doing X, Y, and Z. But really and truly, a combined incomes help. That's the reality of it. But I'm not saying that if you do have a bank account with $250,000 in it, I'm not going to consider a relationship with you.
In my mind, I think that a woman or a man, anybody can see into a relationship, they need to have like certain skills, like for example, you need to be financially responsible. You have to learn how to balance. You have to know how to do it out. You have to learn when to splurge. I mean, it's a balance, the give and take. I wouldn't say in the 21st century, I have to have a woman with money. But at the same point in time, I like to have a woman with ambition who knows what she wants out of life. So eventually money might come.
Yeah.
Right.
A little again, Cuvette say, you are a woman who know how to cook and how to contrive, keep the family alive.
and that is what I'm saying, because it have a lot of different, a relationship have a lot of different factors and different things. Money is not the be all and end all. But once again, Sparrow say you can't make love on hungry belly.
Right, but you know that cut and contrive keep the family alive. You know what that lead into? A Spanish show.
Wow.
That's Baron.
That's where you reach.
That's Baron.
Wow.
Don't blame the messenger.
Wait.
Well, you're old man.
Wow. No, as somebody who not married, I just say in Sheffield, treading on dangerous ground.
So Odi Cuvette could quote Sparrow then. I can't quote another Calypsonian then.
It is what it is. Without money, you ain't getting no honey. You understand what
I
I'm
quote
saying?
Timothy Watkins, the Baron. Spanish one a big parang song.
And Shadow say it too. Shadow says she must want some hot rice. You know, Friday evening, people pass her a box of fried chicken. What you gonna do?
Facts. The Calypsonians, why you can't be them.
So let me ask you a question, right? You're young, you come up, you have your little bank account looking pretty decent, you have a stable job, nice little car, you have your house, and you meet a young lady, right? Is it that you would be concerned about maybe is she coming for your things? You might decide to get married now as a wife. She have hold on some of your assets based on the fact that you was in a marriage with her. So all you're considering that in the back of your head, that playing in your mind as I wonder if this woman really on me, boy, or if she on my money.
No, that all comes back to communicating before you get married or while you're in the relationship. So you would, by the time you actually reach the point where you're actually in the process of preparing for marriage, you would understand that this person, you'd understand what this person's attitude is about, what their overall outlook on financial matters, especially within a relationship, is about. So it's not something, I wouldn't say it's not something that you would think of when you're pursuing someone, but it's not something that you would think of without understanding where the person is before you get into a relationship. So if you're only thinking about if you go down and take half before you get married, right before you get married, I think it's too late. It may be too late. It's something you should consider long before that.
It's a prenup for that. Come to you. If you're so concerned, tell her, hey girl, you see you? I want a prenup. You hear what I'm telling you? Because I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with you. You understand what I'm saying? Tell the girl you want a prenup.
Serious talk. Well, you get a prenup before you get married?
No, because in the earliest, listen, the way our relationship structure, it's finances was never a burning issue. Because I look at you, this is a lady you consider that you want to be with for the rest of your life. That is not a decision that you take lightly. You look at her skills, what she's studying in school. She have subjects, she have 3 CXC subjects. What is her ambition? Does she have potential? And she will be doing the same, because the same way you looking at her, your mother in your ears too. Us, where you got that girl? Where's she from? Who's she family? And the same way her mother in her ears, who's this young man? Where he from? And listen, it's not just you and her,
Yeah, we understand all of that, but we're talking about money. We're focusing on the money aspect.
Right. Now, money is something that is necessary. But once again, I'm saying, you're looking at the person and you're looking at, okay, so both of us in school, some of people get married who are high school sweethearts. You look at their ambition and you build together, because it's not about you doing your own thing and I do my own thing. If you do have now, that is all right. I could see your potential, I know your ambition, I know your goals. I'm going to work with you, you work with me, and eventually money will come.
So Kavel, it's fair to say for you it was a balance of money and love.
I don't know why you always ask us such personal questions, You understand? Listen, in a mature relationship, it will always be a balance of money and love. All right? The fairy tale that people just get married for love is a fallacy. That makes zero sense. It's a lot more than just love. Love is important, but a marriage will never work on love.
Yeah, and I think we in 2021 too, at the time we're living in, as we say, back in the day we could have afforded the one breadwinner in the house. Back then, grandparents, parents, one person was working. But in this year time, and all they realize how much it is to buy a house, bro. One salary and when you have a mortgage these days, It's tough.
One key I say about our young man come up and he have a stable job with a house, I say, but he banking plenty, because as you say, in a house these days it's not cheap. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
But you have anything that cheap these days?
I tell you, some girls watching your parents, how old your mother is. So who house the name in? Yours? You have any siblings? Do you think she doing?
She gauging. But fellas, I have a question though. Only think you have women out there still in this 2021 who looking for a man to take care of them, who willing to just be a housewife then.
Yeah.
Of course.
So what you do in that instance?
It depends on what you want. Do you want somebody like that? If you want somebody like that, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it depends on what you are looking for. What I could say, in my area where I'm from, that is basically how things go. Women are looking for a man that could take care of them, because really and truly, all you know from Rwanda is the oil and gas. And I grew up understanding that, that was the culture. The culture was that the men go offshore, they work on the rigs, they make the 40,000-50,000 a month. The women stay at home and see about them. So yeah, that still exists. It happens to this day. And I guess that's just a culture thing, really and truly. So I don't know how it is up in San Fernando and these other places.
Now, mind you, nothing wrong with the wife or the husband, as we did in the other episode, stay at home dad, stay at home, man, once everything is managed well. Once the breadwinner is financially stable enough to manage everything, as we say, the basics are covered, and the little luxuries, everybody like a little niceness too. So once that's covered, it shouldn't be a problem, man.
So here, this one, right, fellas, and this real talk, this serious thing. What happens if it is that your wife is the person making the money in the relationship and she busts a horn on you? Anthony, what you doing, right? You get divorced, you leave, or you treating with that?
The first thing is
Anthony,
that
go on.
because it just comes.
There.
The thing is, it comes so sudden that you're wondering. Of course, the obvious question to ask is, you want to ask yourself why and how you get home. Why, not even how, why you get home. Or what are the factors that come to the point where you get home? Because obviously something had to be at play when this happened. And personally, it really don't matter to me how much money you are making or how much you are providing.
Right.
That can really soothe my conscience.
So you're no buy off point. You nobody
can't
can
buy
buy
more.
your pride.
No, you really can't buy more for the amount of money that you have. It's either we sitting down to resolve this, or if this cannot be resolved by virtue of the fact that you have a control over finances, and it's probably the root of your dissatisfaction with me.
Okay.
If it's something that we can resolve, is like this problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Rusty, what's your take on that situation, right?
What them goat and them does do?
What them goat and them does do?
It's level, but after that, once money running, it's both left, right, and center, Me explain.
Okay. So your answer totally different to Anthony.
Wait.
Horn for horn, we? Lord.
So that whole money aspect, really, that playing an important role, because you ain't trying to.
It might happen again,
But you're leaving.
Well, if the money running, and I live in it up. The same two can play the game,
Hold on, but don't leave me. Right. All right, gents. This really was an interesting conversation. I must say. Money is a serious thing in relationships, and if you don't discuss that beforehand, it can get real sticky real quick, especially like in the situation we are in now with COVID. This is really testing relationships. It's testing people love. It's testing people ability to go through hard times. You know what I mean? So for those of us out there who looking to get a little relationship thing going, get a little marriage going, consider all these factors, fellas and ladies. All right. So it's safe to say, based on the conversation that we had tonight, that there's a agreement that both things play an important role. Love and money. We heard from Kervel that really and truly you can't have what do you say? You can't no honey if you have no money, and that's a reality, right, in relationships. You know, I guess that's something we could agree with. We also heard from Rossi. Rossi say, well, if you're horn me, well, I'll horn you back, but I ain't gonna leave you because the money nice. All right, so thanks for joining us on another episode of Sip and Chat. You know, we hope that we see you all very soon. And please remember to do the necessary so that you don't put your family at risk, you don't put your friends at risk, your co-workers at risk, right? Sanitize, you know, social distance, wash your hands, that kind of thing, wear your mask. And for those of us that are deciding to take the vaccine, go ahead and do so. All right, so this has been Sip and Chat. Thank you for joining us, gents. Have a good one.